Hi everybody, it's Claire back with another art journal video, and in this one I'm playing with some collage paper from Natalie May Scrapbooking in Australia. This is a collage paper called Brenda. So you can see I'm in the large craft journal and I have added some clear gesso to my page as well. And the reason I'm adding some white paint is because I don't want the craft background to show through the collage paper once I've stuck it in. I want the face to sort of remain quite a neutral colour, so that's why I'm adding this white onto the background first. So I'm just spreading some of this around on the page, roughly where the collage paper is going to go, and you can see I'm nearly running out of paint in that bottle, having to be quite aggressive with it actually to get the last bit of paint out. So if this has happened to you with these Dina Wakley paints, you can cut the bottles open to get the last bits of paint out as well. That works quite well, but obviously once you've done that, anything that's left in there is just going to dry up unless you wrap it up in cling film, or I think in America do you call it saran wrap? I'm not sure. Yeah, so once I've done that, I'm then going in with my matte medium and adding some of that onto my page, rather a lot as you can see, just so that I can stick this collage paper down. And I do end up having to go in and add some more white paint because I haven't got it quite in the right place, but it's okay. The collage paper lifts off quite nicely, so you can already see there where I haven't quite got the white paint in the right place. And you go through that whole thought process of, does it matter? Maybe I can get away with it. No, maybe I can't. So just adding a little bit more in that little space there. Give that a quick dry, and then I'll go in with some more matte medium just to stick the collage paper in place properly. So these collage papers are really great for using on journal pages because obviously they've got kind of background marks and colours on them already around the focal image, and I find that they're really easy to kind of, you can take the focal image out and still use the collage paper that's left around with all the marks and the text on, or you can even just stick the whole sheet into your page and then change them once you've got it in place. So here I'm just using some of the bits that I've cut off with the lovely scripty text on, and I'm just adding those back onto my page. This just kind of means that I've broken it up a little bit and I'm just making that background work for me in the space that I've got in this craft journal. So obviously I've given that a really good dry as well, and this stencil is one that I designed for Scrap FX. It's one of the Circles Galore set. Oh my gosh, a set. And I'm using mineral with this as well. So I think I'm starting off being very influenced by the colours that are already in the collage paper, and I find this often happens if I use a collage paper, and it's a great way to get it to blend into your journal page as well, is to take your inspiration from the colours that are already there. It's a good way to make it work for you. So I've used that stencil first. This is also another Scrap FX stencil. I think this is the graffiti text one, and it's more of a mask than a stencil actually, but I love the way this works. I love the impression it leaves behind. And again, I am using, I think this might be elephant that I'm using here. So I'm going in with lots of greys, and you can see I'm just blending that stenciling around the image just to try and help make the image sit more comfortably on the page, so it isn't just like I've stuck it over there on the right hand side, but so that it's blending across. This is a stencil that I designed that was released through funkyfossil.co.uk. This was one of my recent releases, and I'm just using sterling with this one. I'm pretty sure that's sterling. It's a little bit of a metallic paint there as well, so you can see this is starting to pull out some more of the darker tones from the image. Now here I'm just using a Posca pen and I'm just pulling that hair, the hairlines down a little bit that were already there, that have kind of disappeared under my stenciling, and just pulling that image out a little bit from the background. I'm trying to be very careful not to do any strange lines that make the face look odd. So just taking my time with that. That pen that I was using there was a Uniball Air Micro in black. It's a really nice pen. So now I'm just going in and using, this is another of my stamps that I designed for Scrap FX. No, not for Scrap FX, beg your pardon, for Funky Fossil. This is one of my signature dot stamps, and I'm using some black archival ink, and I'm using these dots to just help blend the edges of the image into the rest of the page. As you know, if you've watched my videos before, I do like to use dots quite a lot in my work. So this is the Jane Davenport palette pastels. These are great just for adding a little bit of blush onto the cheeks. Really simple. I'm just doing it with my finger, just adding a little bit in place there, and I will kind of smudge that out a bit as well. And then I've just got a little bit on my brush, and I'm just adding a little bit of that light pink colour onto the lips as well. So next I'm going in with my large Posca pen, and I'm just writing my quote into the space on the left hand side of the page. And it's really funny, I've often said this when I've come back to edit my videos, ready to put them on my YouTube channel. I watch myself writing my quote, and I really like how it looks. And then I go in and I use my white Signo Uniball, and I wish I'd not bothered, because it kind of pushes the quote away too much into the background. So, you know, don't be afraid to think, actually, I need to stop now. This is sometimes something that I struggle with, but you just get caught up in what you're doing. And I guess at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter, because this is why art journals are so good. They're like a safe space for trying things out and seeing what works. And also, you know, remembering the whole point of why we art journal too. So, yeah. So here I've written out the quote once, then I give it a quick dry with my heat tool, and then I go back in and I just add a little bit of a bolder side to each letter. Just helps to pull that text out a little bit more from the page. And I really like how that looks, and it's actually quite a quick thing to do as well. It doesn't take long, but it does have quite a big effect on how that text sits on the page. So then here, adding a few more dots, and then you notice here I'm going in and I'm adding almost like a shadow, but I'm just doing it in the white pen, and it does just kind of start to disappear that text. So decided I actually preferred it before, but ended up, this was as I was editing it, I decided that, but I ended up with the finished page with the white on top of it. And I mean, it works okay because there is plenty of white on the page already, so it kind of works with that. But it's really funny going back and looking at these pages when I'm editing, and maybe with a critical eye. I don't know, perhaps that's a good thing. Maybe it makes me think more when I do future pages and I get my Signo Uniball out and, oh no, don't do that. Anyway, so if you can get hold of Natalie May's collage papers, I would recommend it. They are so great to use, really easy to blend into your pages, and they give you a really strong focal point as well, a focal image. So yeah, so I've had lots of fun playing with the collage papers that she sent to me. Yeah, I hope you found this inspiring. I mean, obviously lots of the tips and tricks on this video you can use with any focal image, from even if it's a magazine one too. It doesn't have to be a collage paper that someone else has designed. So I hope you've found some inspiration watching me create this page, and maybe you'll have a go at doing something like this yourself. Here's the finished page coming up. There we go. So managing to kind of blend that image into the page just so that it sits more easily on the page too. So thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you again soon.